everyone, Morgan and baby Rogue here, and husband and kid Rogue are somewhere. There he is. Where's kid Rogue? Well, okay, she's somewhere. Anyway, this is our very first boondocking spot. We're so excited. I'm going to show you around. I'm going to talk about all our boondocking stuff. For the past 3.5 months of our full-time RVing life, we've been in parks or hooked up on a land, basically hooked up to power and water. So now we are on this beautiful lake. What is she doing? Where are you going? I don't know what she's doing. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's a lake down there. It's pretty low right now. There's some docks and stuff. I'll show you a little bit later. But we swing around here. Well, here's the rest of the park. This is a free site. We're boondocking. This is all free. It's just a little park. There's one other trailer over there, but that's all. We've seen some people come and go, but here we are. So up top we have solar panels, and husband can explain those a little bit more, of wattage and all that.
So here's our solar panels. We've got 880 watts of solar, and those run down to the charge controller, and we've got 4 deep cycle batteries and a power inverter that'll give us 110 power, and that's what we use for power. I'm going to go more in depth on this on a future video on Rogue on the Road.
But we are on 100% solar right now. Very excited for that. So, in order to save power, instead of turning on the lights, we've just opened up the windows and stuff. And then at night, we'll turn on maybe just 1 or 2 lights, but if we turn on a light, we have to immediately turn it off. I'm going to be that person that's going behind everybody. Turn off the lights, turn off the lights. Right. So when we were on power, we had these 2 heaters. We have this heater and then that heater over there that we were using primarily. That's how we were heating the RV. But we have a furnace, and this will now, it runs fully on propane. So we were just trying to save on propane because the furnace uses a lot of propane, but they're very cold nights. And so we're going to have to use propane a little bit, for the furnace. And then our fridge does run on propane, a little bit electric propane, but it's negligible. Our hot water runs on propane to heat, but it's negligible. And then under our bed there, we have 80 gallons of water, and we have our pump on, and we just turn it on. Of course, every time that that was baby Rogue. Hello. Every time, of course, you use the water, it's going into the gray tank. So we just have to be conscious of how much water we're putting down the gray tank, what we're putting down the gray tank, stuff like that. We have to wash that. The Instant Pot is life, so we use that a lot. And for water that's kind of unknown, we have our Berkey. So we're pretty excited to be using that as well. And we also do have some bottled waters. And, we have like 1 or 2 gallons of water. Okay, so we are going to be using our gas stove, and we have the gas oven, the propane rather. And then our Instant Pot for cooking. We don't have a black tank anymore. We have our composting toilet. This will have to be a whole nother video showing you this, but we don't have a black tank anymore. We empty this. This is where we empty our number 1s and number 2s. So we're pretty excited about that. We've been using this for a couple months now, and it's very good. Dogs are just in RV life. They prefer to be outdoors here. There's more space out here. They're pretty crammed in there with all of us, but they're doing good. They're doing real good. Good morning. Okay, so it's the second day of our off-grid adventure here. So our goal is to be off-grid, and so last night, we're testing the waters of our solar capabilities, and it's wet. I'm trying to show you outside too. Here's what we woke up to. It's pretty. I don't know if you can even see. There you go. There's the lake down there, and looking very nice. So the main thing that is taking up our power is our furnace. Now, our furnace does run on propane, but it also takes 10 amp hours to to actually run. It takes 10 amp hours of electricity. So it was running last night. You know, it ran, I think, probably for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, maybe twice an hour, once or twice an hour. It kind of just depended. It only got down to 50 degrees, so it didn't run that much. But, you know, and it only runs for like 5 or so minutes. It heats up the RV so fast and it gets so warm. And we have our insulation and everything that helps with all that. So the only other thing that we really like need electricity for is like heating our water and keeping our you know, fridge and freezer going. You know, they do, both of those things do run on propane, but they also take some sort of amp hours to use as well. So anyway, you know, we're totally fine. Let's see, last night we started using the solar around 5 or 6 p.m. and the batteries were at 100%. And then we used a little bit, and then about 10 o'clock we looked at it again. I'm sorry, about 9:30. And it was down to 96%. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. You know, we really conserved. You know, we used like, you know, 1 light or something. And then after that, you know, we did watch a few episodes of 30 Rock on TV. And the TV uses hardly any electricity, which was very surprising to us. We thought that would use a lot. And then this morning, you know, after the heater was running, you know, not all night, but, you know, the couple times every hour or so, once or twice an hour, all night, it was down to 87%. So that's pretty good. The type of batteries that we have, we cannot drain. We have a total of about 400 or so amp hours, but we can only realistically use about 200 or so amp hours. What that means is we have to be very you know, we have to really watch our batteries that it doesn't go below half, and we have to just watch our intake. You know, we have to just make sure, okay, if it's going to be a cold night, well, you know, we aren't going to use as much light, but, you know, we have flashlights and other ways of having some sort of light, you know, and these are LEDs, so they don't even take up a lot to begin with. It was like 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3 or something that it does. Maybe it was 0.4. That's right. It was 0.4. We turned on a light and we were watching our solar, you know, and it adjusts as we watch it. And it was like 0.4. Nothing. There's the heater. I'm actually going to turn it down. Of course, you know, the kids wore fleeces to bed, and all of us wore, you know, long sleeves to bed, long pants, all that kind of thing. And, you know, we layered up, plus we layered up with blankets as well. So, you know, we didn't have the, you know, heater down really far. You know, like I said, the heater only came on maybe once or twice an hour, maybe for 5 minutes, you know, so it wasn't that bad. You know, we are big campers. Okay, so like this whole off-grid thing is really nothing new to us. You know, when you go camping, you're basically off-grid. You have way less amenities when you're camping than you do in an RV, but this is our home. You know, this is just a little slightly different. You know, we have different stuff, you know, different needs, that kind of thing. I mean, we could be totally off-grid with no refrigerator, you know, none of this stuff if we really wanted to, but, you know, we don't have to right now. So we're just kind of just adjusting and making do with, you know, what's going on, our needs and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's a cloudy day still. It's day 2 still. So what are we pulling right now on this cloudy day?
So I'm looking at our solar stuff, and we're currently pulling in 186 watts out of 880. But it's completely overcast, and the panels are flat on the RV roof. There's no tilting or anything.
Yeah.
So I think it's doing okay.
I think it's doing great. You know, we're at, the batteries are charged, what?
95% state of charge.
Yeah.
This morning when we woke up, I think it was at 84%.
Yeah.
So
and it's 1 o'clock, 1 p.m.
Yeah, so we got a good several more hours before bedtime. It'll get close to 100.
It's day 3 on solar. Hello. And it is, you can't really tell, but it is super foggy. Super foggy. Can't see the lake. It's foggy fog. Yeah. Foggy. So it is really foggy, and that is not good for solar. Now, cloudy is okay. Rain, we've discovered is not so great. It rained slightly yesterday, and our charging went down really bad. Our charging is almost non-existent right now. And our batteries are what, 87%? 86%. So, you know, I mean, we're fine, but we just have to conserve just a little bit. And, you know, it's like these lights don't take very much, but, you know, we just have to conserve and think about how important this is. You know, we just open up the windows and we're good. Don't need like a ton of light or anything, so we're fine. All right, from the lake to the woods, here's our new site. It has been just really cloudy. You know, we had a little rainy day, so our solar was struggling like yesterday or something, but today it's been all right. Even cloudy days, you get solar, okay? We just have to make sure that we're under the direct sky. Like, we can't even these branches and stuff, like we were thinking of parking right under here, but even these branches would have, like, you know, diminished our ability to charge. And so now we're right under, you can kind of see, we're basically right under the sky right now, the solar panels. There may be slight blockage, but not much, you know, over here. Yeah, so we're really good right now. I just looked inside and the battery said it was charged at 95%. That is fantastic. 95% is great. I'm sorry, it was 96%. 96%, that's even better, okay? Even on a cloudy day, there was like a little bit of sun. And you know, peak time for us is usually anywhere from between like 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., of course, when the sun is high in the sky. You know, the sun's going down now, so I mean, we're pretty much done. I think we're getting like 30 watts of a potential of 800. I think today we got, our highest was 200 watts, which is great. You know, that's great. You know, super sunny days, of course, we get lots more. We've gotten, you know, 6 and the full 800 before. So that's great. You know, this boondocking and off-grid life is really an adjustment. And it's not a bad adjustment. It's just an adjustment. It's something that you have to, there's a bug on the camera. It's something that you have to just know that you're not going to be able to just willy-nilly flip on an electrical switch. You're not going to be able to willy-nilly, you know, let your water just run as you take a shower, right? Like, you have all these little quirks about the RV that you have to keep in mind, you know, regardless whether you're boondocking or not, but especially when you're boondocking, because now, you know, you have your gray tank, which is filling up, and now you have, you know, the 80 gallons of onboard water that you have available to you unless you want to go get water, right? And now you have your composting toilet, which you have to dispose of. You know, you have to dispose of the composting bit, you know, every 2 weeks, and then we dispose of the urine every day. And, you know, and then we have heat. You know, how are we going to sufficiently heat and cool, you know, when we don't have the air conditioning? We can't use our air conditioners on the solar. You know, so we just open up the windows, right? All of our windows are open right now, and that helps with light and cooling. It's a little humid and hot out today. So yeah, I could go on and on about this, you know, but like I said before, you know, we've been camping lots, and this is basically camping with a little bit of luxury. I mean, basically, you know, like, we actually have, you know, 4 walls, kind of walls. They're 4 walls and a ceiling, right? We have a roof, you know, we have a roof over our head, and we're doing great so far, you know, but I will let you guys know the successes and struggles that we have going forward. And if you guys ever have any questions, put them down in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer them or make a very specific video or whatever. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to you later. Bye.